Welcome back in to Talkin Tech. Hometeam Brandon Lee, College Football Hall of Famer, all-time leading passer, Davey O'Brien Award winner. He's also an All-American and a Super Bowl champion, Joe Hamilton. Here, Coach Sean Nerny, man who's played the game, and now he's won a game, as he's now recently married. Jumping the broom. Congratulations,
Thank
Sean
you
Nerny.
very much.
Thank you for the invite, too. I was glad I got to watch you guys walk into forever.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was great seeing both of you guys.
Wow, you did it. You did it well, man. And your eyes, man, your feeling. You rubbed off on me because you were calm and cool and correct, and that the decision you were about to make, you were 100% in. That's the vibe I got from you and Tam.
Did you cry during your wedding, Joe?
No.
He didn't cry either.
I didn't cry, but when I was holding her hands up there, my hands were just dripping, man. I mean, that's where the nervousness was.
It was A-work, brother. You need to send that tape out. That'd be some good game film. We're going to break down some game film from this past week. I thought Georgia Tech did a really good job of competing. Bronco Mendenhall had a decent defense, to say the least, out there, leading the Coastal Division. Virginia is a tough team, and they played a tough game. Offensively, you got to 28 points, Joe. Did you see enough to show progression from the last time out to this time out to say, okay, we've learned something between these 2 weeks, and now we can move forward to Virginia Tech?
I absolutely saw progression, mainly from James Graham in the Pitt game, going 3 for 13, getting pulled, so to speak, and now all of a sudden bouncing right back and having his best overall game as a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. And I'm going to give credit to Coach Pottenode for drawing some things up in the dirt not off of the dirt, but going into the playbook and drawing some things up off of the Pitt game, running smash routes concept, going to the corner.
Saw an explosive touchdown.
Explosive touchdown. That was off of a smash route. Now you're going instead of to the corner. Now you're doing a corner post and wide open Amari and Brown. But James Graham, to me, is going to have to continue to develop in situational football. His accuracy, he missed some wide open first down throws, and he threw a pick that was kind of wide open. Amari and Brown again. Those things he can work on. So going forward, going to this week, I think it's all a building program, and they're going to get the wins and the results that they're working towards. I just think if everybody continues to make improvement, like James Graham did last week, in which they are, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacks will be fine.
And Nerny, I think defensively, we had a game, in the first half, and there were some good things I think we could put on tape, and certainly Coach could put on tape to show his defense that, hey, you guys, handled a little bit of business, and we had us a game and had a chance to kind of be in this thing for the entirety of the ride.
Right. I mean, and I'll start off in the first half. You talked about the untimely interception by James Graham. Well, right before that, you got a big third down stop by your defense, got the ball back, and you had a chance to open that into a 2-score game early in the ball game. Unfortunately, the interception means that doesn't happen. You got to give credit to Virginia and their game plan, okay? Offensively, it was pretty clear to me what they wanted to do, and it was attack the front seven of Georgia Tech. A lot of quarterback designated, drawn up quarterback keeper runs with Perkins. He's just who can run the football. And it wasn't really so much take a lot of shots downfield. In the first half, I don't know if they took any shots downfield. Their stud receiver, DeBow, I don't know if he ever received a target. Certainly he didn't in the first half. But the way Georgia Tech's secondary was able to take away most of the deep routes, I think that limited Virginia and what they wanted to do. They wanted to run the ball, take advantage of their size advantage up front on the line of scrimmage, and they were able to do that rather successfully, especially in the second half where Virginia dominated the time.
And that's a great point, Nerny, because when you want to maul somebody and you're bigger than somebody up front like the Cavaliers have on the Yellow Jackets, it's not east and west.
Right.
It's north and south.
Right.
And they were coming downhill.
One of the things that was of issue, and certainly the last game too, special teams. Joe, you always talk to me and everybody about the hidden yardage on the kickoffs, on the punts, on the returns, and then also the field goals. It's not just the missing of field goals, in my opinion. It's the ones and the timing of the ones we're missing after turnovers, after you find a way to get down there and put a good drive together early in the game. Those are the things that you want to see the improvement and things get better towards the end of the season.
I would say the one that stands out the most to me, the field goal that you miss going into halftime, it would have tied the game up at 17 after Virginia hit a field goal. Put a decent drive together, but yeah, you're right. Special teams, you look at the offense, defense, it starts on the line of scrimmage, who's bigger, stronger, faster. Special teams isn't really so much about the talent you have. It's just about doing your job and getting those points when you can get them, making the field goals, getting good punt coverage down the field, giving yourself good field position. And I almost liken it to, it's not quite a penalty, but it's almost drawing 15-yard flags on yourself. When you can't execute on special teams, it's almost shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, and again, it's demoralizing. It's momentum stoppers or blockers, whatever you want to call it. You're talking about driving the ball down there before the halves. Everybody's feeling, upbeat, ramped up, and deflated on a missed field goal. And some of those field goals you can call ducks. The one against Pitt, to be able to close that gap up a little bit. They were field goal range, extra point range field goals, and it just does something to the sideline and to psychic of young guys on the football field.
Next up, Virginia Tech. You know it's going to be a situation where both teams are looking to get into the final approach of their season, try to get some wins, try to get some momentum going into the final few games. What are we looking to see? I just think kicking the field goals after turnovers, and to Joe's point, the momentum swings, finding a way to not shoot yourself in the foot. The games will take care of themselves. You win or lose based on the execution, but you don't want to give anything extra to Virginia Tech, even though you're playing a quarterback who's done some good things on the football field, but he's not a guy who won't turn the ball over.
I want it so bad. I want it so bad for these kids right now. Virginia Tech is just in the way right now that you want to put together 3 phases of football and come out gunning, a complimentary type football, and let these players just taste the hard work that they've been putting in. Can it result into a victory? Because they've been laying it all out on the line. It just hadn't gone their way on the box score right now on the scoreboard. But they've been, not cutting any corners, and I just wanted to pay off of it.
Any more you want to see from the quarterback position? You want to see some rotations defensively? What are you looking for?
Defensively, much of the same. They rotate well. I think, listen, you play to your strengths. The secondary is the strength of this football team, okay? So it's the same game plan defensively. Now, we're not necessarily worrying about pass rush lanes this week like you were against Virginia, but it's really, limit them on first and second down, let your secondary worry about third down. Offensively, we've been saying it for the last few weeks, I'll say it again. I'd like to see Jordan Yates out there a little bit. I got very excited watching this. The more I watch this offense roll, the more I can just envision it. When you get yourself a couple more players on the line and a little bit more accuracy out of the quarterback position, especially in the second half.
Yes.
First half, James Graham looked great. Second half, there were a couple third down conversions that we missed because of inaccuracies of quarterback. I think I would like to see Jordan Yates get out there and see what that guy can do throwing the football. See if maybe you can convert a couple of those third downs and work into next season.
And we can firmly say that we have made a transition offensively. Because
Yeah,
we don't see any more of the remnants of last year's offense.
No.
It's totally changed over now to what Coach Pagano
I saw one speed option I noticed in the game. That was the only little glimpse of an option.
And smartly coached and smartly played. Kind of bleed it in and then bleed it out as well, so that you can get the game and the most out of the talent that you have on the field. That'll do it for this episode of Talkin Tech. We'll be back next week. Home team, Joe Ham, Coach Nerny. We'll be back next week talking Tech.